Okay, we are back with another episode of Let Me Finish. I'm one of your hosts, Janice.
I'm Jillian.
Okay, guys. So jumping right on in. I mean, I don't think we have much going on in our weeks. I don't know. Did you?
No, just normal stuff.
Yeah.
Working home and work.
I feel like my life is it's been pretty predictable lately over chaos. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
But really, I don't have anything going on until the end of the month because it's my birthday. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you pick a place?
I haven't. I'm still
for
working
dinner.
on it.
Well, are we doing New York?
Probably not.
I mean, you were supposed to be looking into it.
I was, but we can do it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
still on the table, just later.
So we've been trying to plan a trip for Jillian's birthday for the last 3 years, and every year she's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
I
fine."
think I just need to pull the trigger. It's one of those things.
Especially
where I'm
because New York has been in one of your places you've wanted to go for so long.
for a really long time.
I mean, we used to live there, but not as
especially-
adults.
Especially, I definitely want to experience like a Christmas in New York kind of thing. I think that would be
Around Christmas.
around Christmas because I wanted to.
That's so
to go
cold,
see
though.
go see the Rockettes, and there's so many great things that happen in New York.
That might be a solo trip. You should probably do one of those.
I probably could.
My friend Ashley did one, and she loved it.
Yeah,
And she went to New York.
yeah. I just think it's just
Went to a Broadway show by herself.
That's what I
Yeah.
would. I would just go see a bunch of Broadway shows, go see the Rockettes, checking out the Christmas windows and stuff like that, and go to the
it's
Rockefeller
beautiful.
Christmas tree. It's just so many great stuff you can do there. So
Yeah, I don't like the colds. I don't think I would be very keen
I would just
on
do
going in the
a lot
winter.
of indoor things. You
gotta leave your house, or you gotta leave the hotel to get to the other place.
Yeah,
That's
girl,
hard.
just take.
And you gotta walk, girl.
Denny's like,
Girl,
I gotta walk.
shoot.
Ooh, I don't know.
Everywhere in New York you walk, you just walk the couple blocks or whatever. No, ma'am.
Because that is on my bucket. We're in like Salem, Massachusetts.
I definitely feel like we should definitely plan the Salem trip because I think that would be super fun.
Salem or Sleepy Hollow, New York, or New
Salem.
Orleans, Louisiana. I think.
Oh, for the voodoo?
Just think it's just an interesting.
You can go to really New Orleans anytime for that stuff.
Yeah.
They kind of
I'm just
keep it year
saying,
round.
It's year round, but I think it would just be more interesting in October. Just to kind of.
Oh God, it's a lot of. I don't know if I
There's a
like
lot
to
of
play with the
spooky stuff.
juju. I like to play with the juju. Maybe something jump in me at that time. No, I'm good. Anyways.
Girl, you're so dumb.
Girl, because when it comes to duppies, which is demons in Jamaica, but I don't play. I don't want none of that heat. Nope.
I get that.
None of that
Rather
smoke.
be safe than sorry, but I'm just
Hell yeah.
there's a lot of different things like on my little bucket list of places I want to go. So
I know.
yeah,
Me too.
I just
Me
need to
too.
start checking it off. I'm getting older. I need to start checking some of that stuff.
You
off.
have to, because just like we were talking about today, tomorrow is not promised. You better start planning. You better start living now.
For sure.
Especially people are like, I'm gonna wait till I retire. If you make it to retirement age.
Yeah. How many people literally get their
Sad.
Social Security, get it for 6 months and die? I'm like, imagine working your whole life
I know.
and only get to collect Social Security for 6 months and just.
I mean, the way they're talking about it for us, it's it's never gonna happen. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna jump right into our topic. So we want to talk to you guys about the latest Netflix documentary. It was #1 on Netflix for I think a couple of days. It came out 2 weeks ago, I would say.
I would say I watched it 2 weeks ago.
Not
Not last week. I think the week.
I did not watch it last weekend. I think I watched it the weekend before, and it just had come out. So either way, nonetheless, it's called Unknown Number: The High School Catfish. So it wasn't something that I was like, let me watch it, right? But I saw that it was the #1 documentary or #1 show or movie on Netflix, and I was like, okay, well let me watch it because I do like documentaries and I do like the way Netflix will do their documentary. I don't know. I like the style.
Yeah, Netflix has a lot of really great.
Yeah,
ones.
I just like the style. It's easy to follow. It's very intriguing. So, and this one was exactly the same, right? Right away, I was hooked. So, and just as a FYI, guys, this will have spoilers. We are going to talk about the end of this documentary, which is a huge plot twist. So if you have not watched this episode or this documentary, go watch it, then come back and listen to the podcast because it's crazy. So On this documentary, it's about two teenagers who are harassed for almost 2 years via text message by somebody. They have no idea. It's an unknown number, and it's just they changed. Like, of course, we all know with different apps and things, they can change. Like, you can get different numbers. Like, I mean, Google. We all know about it. Google Voice.
When I was watching it, I was just like, why would you just not block this number?
Yeah, but they would just get a new number.
They would get text messages from a new number every day.
Right, because I think it scrambles it every time, right? So
it's some app that the person who was sending these.
It ends up being called Pinger, apparently.
Yeah, so it's whatever this person used to send the text messages is some kind of app on a phone that will change up the number or spoof the number so that, even blocking or getting a new number didn't help.
And they did have and we'll talk about it later, but they did confirm they had a VPN. So they were able to scramble where they were actually located. So, anyway, yes, there's two high schoolers are being harassed. So Lauren and Owen, they're a young couple in middle school, right? They, I think they said they met each other at 12 years old.
Yeah.
I think the relationship,
they were friends.
Goes on. Yeah, they were friends first, become boyfriend, girlfriend, 12 years old. Typical boyfriend, girlfriend thing at 12 years old. You play together, you trick or treat together, you just hang out, right? It's not anything super serious. And of course, as you get older, it becomes more and more serious. So they did date into high school. Men in 7th grade dated into high school. I think they broke up like midway through their freshman year, possibly their sophomore year, but I'm not
sophomore
because they were only together for I think they were together for almost. She said 2.5 years. They were together,
which is long for somebody.
Yeah, definitely long. If I'm talking 12 years old, so she's probably like 14, almost 15 when they broke up. So either way, nonetheless, so they start getting text messages. 8th grade year, they start getting text messages. They apparently, one of the girls from school was having a Halloween party that they have every year. It's an annual party. She was not invited. He says, you can come anyways.
You're my girlfriend.
You're coming with me. You're my girlfriend. And she gets a text. The text is saying basically Owen no longer likes you. He's coming to this Halloween party. And then they get a little bit more explicit, talking about, and he's DTF and, sorry, not sorry.
Right.
I felt like those text messages sounded adolescent-like, right?
Right.
Totally. And apparently it was just those text messages that they got. And it took 11, so that the time came and went. It took 11 months for them to get the next set of text messages. And then it escalates from there. These text messages are graphic. These text messages are really mean. They're definitely targeted more so to try to get them to break up.
Yes.
Hey.
It's to the point where the person that was texting Lauren was pretty much telling her kill herself.
So that doesn't happen until after they break up, though.
I'm just saying, that's how bad it got.
They get super bad. Yeah, they definitely get super bad. But they're sending these text messages basically saying really gross things sexually, which obviously at 13 years old, why would a 13-year-old be talking about having sex? Or, I mean, I don't even want to say all this stuff that was said, BJ's, just too much, right? Especially for, again, 13 years old. Maybe they hear those words, but putting them into what happened, it's just weird. So immediately from that point, I don't know about you, when they started getting that kind of graphic, I was like, this is an adult. This sounds like an adult. And in the beginning of the documentary, they do say that the parents are very involved in the children's lives.
Right.
So
they said that it's a small town, so everyone's involved in
everybody's involved in everybody.
Yeah. They don't have anything else better to do.
Let's just say there's one school and it has K through 12 in this one school. That should tell you right there how small it is.
Small town.
I think each class had 30 people maybe. And that's the entire town.
Yeah.
That's how small.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So that's how small. So they said that the adults are involved in a lot of things. So that's
because there's nothing
to
else
the
going
point
on.
of toxicness is what a girl described. And so immediately I'm like, that bell ran off. I was like, okay, there's probably an adult that's doing this, which is super, super weird. But yeah, it sounds like an adult, especially with it's not so much of the fact that they were talking about sexual things, it's the way they were positioning them. I'm like, I don't really think a 13-year-old would know how to use that
vernacular.
Like they might know what it is, but they're not going to use it. I don't think so. Right. They're going to say more stuff like DTF.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So as the time goes on, it gets worse and worse. They do end up breaking up.
The pressure was too much.
Owen does end up breaking things off with her. And I think as a child, he really was thinking that this might solve his issue.
Yeah.
Right.
And mind you, it had to be an adult that probably doesn't have a job because they were getting 40 up to 50 to 60 text messages a day
at one point.
So like this is consuming someone's life during the day. They're like, they're at school. It can't be another child because if you're a child in class,
there would be some at night too. Yeah.
Some at night, but I'm just like, a lot of them were happening when they were at school, and we're just like, who could possibly be in the school? And it's to the point where they were getting freaked out because they were just like, how they would have certain details. I'm like, how do you know that detail about this person unless you're like watching them?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so eventually Lauren and Owen get their parents involved because it gets to be too much, right? I think they let it go on for quite a bit, and then they get their parents involved. Their parents, typical parents, what's going on? Let me just take your phone.
To the school, administrators,
ignore it at first. Well, let's go to the school. The school's like, oh, we just think it's a typical cyberbullying thing. We can just, and for whatever reason, the school could not come up with any answers, right?
I mean,
which eventually you figure out why.
What would the school do though? What would the school? You don't know who it is, and I don't think that's within the purview of the school to figure out who it is.
I think cyberbullying. No, I think schools do get involved with that.
It's if you knew who the perpetrator was, but they have no idea who the perpetrator.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think with schools, like they do try to figure out cyberbullying situations. I hope. I mean, because cyberbullying is like super popular.
It had been going on for so long. The parents are like frustrated, and to the point where the boyfriend, they had broken up. He found somebody in a completely different town. Yeah. Was dating this other girl, and that girl's mother started getting text messages.
Yeah, the mother. I thought that was weird. Once again confirmed to me, this is an adult, right?
Yeah.
Because even if it was a child, like, why would you text the mom? You would text the girl, right?
Text the girl.
So you're texting the mom because, and then mind you, this is after they broke up. So it's just like, what?
And they're so suspicious that actually another girl who had nothing, the boyfriend's cousin, she got caught up in it. Another girl that was, I guess, on, volleyball, softball, one of the sports team that Lauren was on. Basketball. She was on the team. They thought maybe she was doing it.
Yeah. So the police got involved, and dumped their phones. And at one point, there was a girl that was on the team. So basically, one of the messages from the bully basically said, like, she sucked at her sport and she didn't score enough points. So she obviously Lauren knew this is a person that's watching my games, right? Mm-hmm. And then that person said, yeah, and I scored X amount of points, which again, weird. But they figured out who scored that many points. It was this girl named Chloe in the class, which supposedly there was some type of girl. There's a mean girl apparently with her because multiple people confirmed she was a bully for this school and had always been a bully. And from the time they've been growing up, she was not a nice person.
Her and Lauren were not.
They were not friends
at all.
Owen confirmed that though he was friends with her, that she was not nice to people. Owen has a cousin, Adriana or something. Yeah, Adriana, and she was a shy girl, like kind of to herself, and apparently Chloe bullied her. So Chloe actually accused her of being the actual person, of framing her. So basically all adds up to them framing this girl Chloe
for
this crime or for this cyberbullying. The girl is like adamant, it's not me. Like, yes, I'm mean, but it's not me. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. To clear her name, she ends up getting her phone dumped. The bully responded and was just like, hey, I just got my phone dumped. They found nothing. So again, pointing to that it's Chloe.
So, and just to piggyback on that, to just show you how serious they had to take it because of how extreme this was, that they took it to the police. The police were like, we cannot figure this out. They actually took it to the FBI. Cybercrime.
That's how they ended up finding out.
That's how they end up finding out who it was responsible. And the person's like, yeah, I mean, I do this all that kind of like, to the point where like having profilers reading the text message, going through the text messages, trying to figure out based on the text messages who could possibly be this. And I think one of the FBI agents that was doing the dump and reading the text messages, like, he was like, I don't think this is a child.
Well, I don't know if he said that, but he did say that the messages were graphic enough to where, as a 53-year-old man, it made him blush.
Yeah.
So again, which I think any adult would have it kind of ring an alarm. Like, is this how kids talk? Like, yes, kids talk about sexual things, but they don't have the same experience as adults have with sexual things. So they don't use it in such graphic terms, I don't feel. And she did use it in a very graphic way. And so the person used it in a graphic way. Anyway, so But so anyway, so the FBI gets involved, right? Again, Owen and them broke up. You know, he's still being harassed. Lauren's still being harassed. It did get to the point where they're like, hey, kill yourself. To Lauren, you're disgusting. Nobody wants you here, blah, blah, blah. Like, what? Like, just really awful, horrific things to this girl and to this young man, which once I tell you guys the conclusion, I have a question for you, Jillian, about that, because I thought it was weird. But yeah, so ends up, they go to the FBI. The FBI ends up being able to locate one of the numbers and figures out it's from an app called Pinger. Pinger is the app that jumbles up your phone number and gives you a new one, right? So basically you can generate multiple phone numbers over and over again. So he subpoenas Pinger, subpoenas them. They get the information back. They subpoena that 2 IP addresses that are owned by Verizon come back. And they're able to basically get every single phone number, or like every single phone number from this app. And they scoured through them and made a comparison with what Owen's parents and Owen provided them as far as numbers that they can look up. Yeah. Because I believe it was really Owen's parents that really took it as far to go to the FBI. Yeah. She's the one that continued pursuing it.
The mom was like, I'm not letting this go.
Kendra, which is Lauren's mom, she did pursue it, but only, I don't believe, they did not talk about her pursuing it with the FBI. They only talked about her pursuing it with the local police department. So anyway, so he subpoenas that. He gets a list of numbers. He gets all the numbers. And there's only one number that keeps coming back attached to these messages. Would you believe the person that is revealed to be the person attached to this phone numbers? The phone number belongs to Kendra. Kendra is Lauren's mother. Excuse me? Girl, when I saw that, I said, wait, what?
Her own mother.
I did not clock that at all. I was like, not her mom. And then I had to go back and think, wait, she said that she to kill herself. Wait, her daughter? And so then, of course, I'm thinking, well, maybe my mind went to, I don't know if yours went to, my mind was like, maybe it's Lauren from her mom's. I'm
going to be honest. I already knew it was the mom when I started watching the documentary because somebody had talked about it on TikTok.
Oh.
So
I did not know.
And I was just like,
I did not know.
I did know. I knew it was the mom.
So I was like completely
so as soon as
thrown
the
for a
mom
loop.
came on the screen, I'm like, it's you, girl. So I was more into.
So when you were watching it, you were watching for signs of different pieces of like, okay, she said this, but that kind of twisted it now that I know the truth. Because as I'm watching it, right, I did not know that it was Kendra's mom. So I'm just watching the documentary like normal, thinking that Kendra's a normal mom. At one point, Kendra says, I don't feel like the school handled the situation properly.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it just never crossed my mind. And then after it came out, girl, I stopped immediately and I rewound. And so I could watch it with the perspective of she is the person doing this. And so I could actually really let it soak in all these messages and what they were saying and how they were saying it. So so the documentary goes on, and yes, Kendra's revealed to be the person who's sending her child these messages.
Yeah, Lauren's mom.
Mind you, we're talking about 50 to 60 messages a day. So the dad has no idea. So they go to the house to basically confront her because they basically said they did not have enough evidence to really just go in there and just like do something, right? So they were only there to produce a search warrant for her electronics. So then she's like, oh, what? I feel like very quickly she starts to reveal that it's her. Like, I don't think it took long. I think she tried to look like, oh no, not me. But immediately I think the cop did a good job by asking, is there something going on? Do you have like some infatuation with Owen? And she was like, nothing like that. And I was like, oh, so she just admitted it. Like, and she admitted it without overtly admitting it.
Right.
Right. So then she kind of says it escalated and it snowballed for her. And it's so heartbreaking though, because Lauren's at home. And they call Lauren in and they tell her what happened. And you can just see Lauren is just like, she completely disassociated from that situation, I feel.
Yeah.
Her face looks blank. She's just kind of staring. She starts picking at her toe. And then the mom is just hugging her and saying she can't leave her. I was just like,
yeah,
it's like, you're the abuser. What do you mean? It's so manipulative.
It's the arsonist firefighter. She completely, I wouldn't say ruined her. She's been putting her daughter through hell for over 2 years.
I would say Lauren will have significant trauma because of this.
Yeah.
Forever.
Because
there's going to be a level of trust that she'll never get back because the one person you're supposed to trust the most did this to you.
Yeah.
That'll never go away.
It's just like, imagine you put me through hell and then now you want to comfort me.
It's not even you put me through hell. You told me to kill myself.
Yeah.
Like, you literally told me.
Like, what if she had actually
to die?
done it?
And then, so actually, they actually asked Kendra, how could you tell your daughter to unalive herself? And she was just like, I know my daughter. And because of that, I knew, like, I was not afraid that she was going to do it. But what made you want to say to your daughter to do that? Like, why do you want your daughter to feel so badly about herself? So for me, okay, I think the ultimate motivation for it was an unhealthy obsession with Owen. I think she had some type of weird infatuation with him. And I think it escalated. And I think what she was doing to her daughter, she enjoyed feeling that like powerful. They called it like cyber Munchausen. But I think it's further than that, because she wasn't just trying to hurt her daughter. She was also trying to hurt Owen.
Yeah. But I did hear, as far as as far as what people have said, like adding additional details, that Kendra has actually been inappropriate with other teenagers as well. The
boys?
It just says teenagers, like she messaged other teenagers as well. So
like message them as herself or message her as the bully?
As a cyberbully.
Yeah, so she would tell other people to help her ruin their lives. Help me ruin Owen and Lauren's life.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. What was your thing?
I mean, I wouldn't say, I'm like, was it entertainment? Did you enjoy watching them squirm and be, paranoid, or I don't know. Was it the attention? Like being the mother trying to figure out, being there for your daughter and trying to get the attention, as well, instead of actually physically making them sick, you're doing.
That was actually one of my questions. What do you feel like is her driving force?
Yeah, instead of physical abuse, you're doing emotional abuse on your child to be, to be like, oh,
but it's not just her child. That's my part where I'm like, I don't think it could be Munchausen's, because it's not just her child.
But I think it's a package deal, because I honestly, I'm
it can't be a package deal because they broke up, and then you actually went to a girl that knew Owen
But I did hear that even after somebody did point out that even after Lauren and Owen broke up, because Owen played sports, that she would still go to his games.
All of his games. And at one point, Owen's mom had to tell her no, she could not go across the country to see one of his games because she wanted to travel to go and see it. And Owen admitted himself that he had felt uncomfortable with her at times and felt like she liked him. Like she would cut up his steak and, rub on his back. I'm like, that's creepy.
So I think with her,
she wanted Owen.
Maybe.
Especially the way she would talk about things with him in the messages. Like it was a fantasy for her that she knew she could never actually really live. And it was a way for her to live
do you think the reason why she, instead of just texting Owen and maybe doing all the stuff she did to her daughter, she was jealous of her daughter being with Owen?
Yeah. I think ultimately and then, like she said in the beginning, they were the perfect couple. The first messages were like, the second set of messages said, how's the happy couple, quote unquote. Some people are tired of you guys, right? So I'm just like, but that's Kendra's mom. I actually, because Kendra says those first set of messages about the Halloween party were not her. And even so, and nobody believes that, like not even the police. They're like, there's no other numbers that were associated. But again, those messages were 11 months prior. So for some reason, I'm inclined to be like, it would make sense if those were not her. And it would make sense if in her head at that time, she was like, I'm just going to piggyback off of this because I can. And then now it's a way for me to agree with them. Like, yeah, Owen doesn't want you. He wants me.
But,
he wants, because in the messages she would say that he likes her.
Because I think she took it to the extreme, but I've heard people, and this is before this documentary came out, where a lot of daughters who are adults now, that their mother
in competition
felt like they're in competition with their daughters and then act accordingly. But how many times have you had mothers who choose their boyfriends over their daughter's safety? And I feel like they're like, hey, don't walk around my man in said shorts or that tank top or whatever. And for me, I would think as a mother, I would be like, my daughter can be in my house, dressed however she wants to, that makes her comfortable. And if I have a man and I got to worry about how he's going to behave based on what she dresses, you got to go. You have to go.
I mean, but that's hard to say because I wouldn't want my child walking around a man that's not her father in scantily clad clothes.
Here's the thing. Like I said, frankly, a lot of time when these girls, or now they're women, they're like, it's nothing, shorts and a t-shirt and a tank top. It's not like they're walking around in a bikini.
I mean, lingerie. That's normal.
But for you to clock your daughter and say, hey, it's not the daughter that was doing anything wrong, is if you're worried your man has that kind of behavior towards a teenager or a child, that man shouldn't be in your house, period.
It's for sure. I agree with you completely. I feel like there would be an instinct for me as a mother also to have some type of layer, especially, because I would even want that to be something that could happen. I don't know. I would definitely, I'm not saying that, I think a tank top and shorts, it should be totally fine.
What I'm saying
but is, do I want to see you walking around with your bra on? No.
So what I'm saying, and it's clothing, they're clothes. What I'm saying is that instead of trying to adjust my daughter's behavior when she's in her own home, I would clock him first. You can't be in this house. Not with my child.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's
like
where I come from. But there are some mothers who see their daughter as competition and honestly, I think thankfully we don't have that dynamic with our mom, but there are some mothers out there, especially if they have daughters and sons, where mothers tend to baby their sons a little bit more. So the saying is, mothers love their sons while mothers raise their daughters. So a lot of times they're harder on their daughters versus their sons, where
don't you think that's the same thing for men, vice versa?
No.
Well, they definitely always say that men are harder on their sons and then they coddle their daughters.
In the sense of
like daddy's girl versus being tough on your son.
Being
I
a daddy.
definitely.
No,
I feel like
in a
that
sense
is the yeah.
In the sense of not when I say and this is just a mother-daughter versus mother and son relationship where I feel like some mothers will, when they're with their sons, that they could have a son and a daughter, and the daughter has way more responsibilities in the house where she's responsible. You make sure you cook, you clean, you do the laundry, you got to have all these responsibilities where maybe a son wouldn't be required to do that. And
because of the gender norms, I think, that are put upon us.
I think that is, and because of that, unfortunately, a lot of sons, when they go out in the real world, they don't really know how to take care of themselves, where a daughter, they're forced to grow up and do adult things before they leave the house. Because they've had those responsibilities before they leave.
I can understand that, but I would challenge it to say that fathers are like that with their sons versus their daughters as well. Like, I think it's just like, it's like a natural instinct. Like, I'm a woman. I know I can teach you these things and how to like be a nurturer, caretaker versus a man who would do the same thing with his son. I'm a man. I know, how to fix a car. I know how to do these type of things. These are the things men do. I think it's just more of a gender norm than anything.
I don't think so. Honestly, when it comes to,
because I'm like,
fathers
so
and sons,
wouldn't it present the fact that
as far as fathers and son, I think it just comes down to wanting to be the dominant person in the household, so maybe I think
it's the same dynamic. I just think it's different type. I think it's the same dynamic. I think you're harder on the one that you are. I'm a mom, so probably I'll be a little harder on my daughters, and I think dads are a little harder on their sons. That's what I think.
But I think dads can still be strict with their daughters,
but they're not usually.
Ways. Maybe they're like, well, they'll let their sons go out and roam the streets and have fun. You're my daughter. No, you got to be in the house.
That one piece, but ultimately they're probably going to be harder on their son when they get in trouble. Yeah, they're going to probably go a little harder on that son than they will the daughter. Like the daughter's going to, daddy's girl. Like there's a reason there's a stereotype there.
Yeah.
So, and I get it. And I agree with what you're saying. And it's probably that same dynamic is just reversed where, you should not be in competition with your daughter though. Like it gets weird.
I guess what I'm trying to say, there are plenty of mothers out there who are in competition, especially I think.
But do you think Kendra is? I think that needs to be the question.
I think it is. Honestly, because I already knew that Kendra was responsible for the text messages when she came on the screen. And I saw how beautiful that Lauren was, and Kendra wasn't just age. Maybe it's just age. She wasn't radiating beauty.
Golly, so they tore her up online, didn't they, for her looks?
I'm not saying that she was like Quasimodo or
anything
like that. She wasn't.
I saw a lot of pictures comparing her to Quasimodo himself.
So I think
she's not a cute woman,
or maybe because of. She was on the sports team. She was maybe more athletic. I
don't think it was a
pinpointed.
So here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but I don't think it was a pinpointed thing. I think it was just an overall feeling. She's jealous of her daughter.
Yeah. No, I'm just.
And I think a lot of people said it around her. Like Lauren had Lauren did have friends, and Lauren, she had that boyfriend that people probably were jealous of. And she was shy, and she was very confident in herself, even though she didn't have she wasn't the most popular girl. She liked her sports, and she had her group of friends, and she was confident in who she was, I think. Yeah. And I think maybe that rubbed Kendra the wrong way. I don't know. But again, I do think it started with this infatuation for Owen. I think that's where it spring from.
And because we talked about this earlier, and because it's a small town, how many of these parents are living vicariously through their kids?
That's what I'm saying when they say that parents are super involved in their kids' lives and what they're doing to the point where kids are saying it's like toxic. Well, then probably probably that small town syndrome type thing for sure.
Yeah.
And then and just so you guys know, like Kendra was very involved in the school. She was like she was the volleyball coach. She was the scorekeeper at like basketball games. The principal said that like from the time he can remember, you know, Kendra was involved with the school, like pretty much. And between the two moms, Owen and Lauren's mom, they said they were up at the school almost every day for different things.
Yeah.
So again, that's how involved these moms were in their kids' lives.
And do you think also, I think also another dynamic, maybe why she was so involved in their daughter's life and maybe why this obsession came to be with Owen is because she wasn't having a good relationship with her husband either. Do you think that maybe was a part of it too?
You know,
what she was lacking in her relationship?
I don't think so, because you can literally, I don't know, because I don't feel like that's, you replace your grown-up relationship with a thought of a relationship with a child either. So I just think it was a weird obsession. I don't know what it was. Hopefully it's not something that's a continuous thing for her and was more so like a one-off situation, but I do think it was, I mean, and then for them, I think Owen and his mom kind of sat back and thought about it, and they both feel like she had this weird thing for him. Mm-hmm. And I feel like being in the situation, probably that rings true because they're the closest to it. And if that's what he felt and that's what she saw, mm-hmm. when they sat back and looked at it, I'm like, then yeah, that's probably true. Because it makes the most sense. Mm-hmm. It makes the most sense, because why else did all of a sudden you just feel this need to like, because that's what I was going to ask you. I didn't understand in the documentary why they really only showed the messages and talked about Owen getting messages, but they only showed the messages to Lauren.
I don't know.
I just never understood that. I'm like, because he's saying he's getting 50, 60 messages a day. Any of the messages we saw in the documentary were all directed to Lauren. So I was just like, why are we not seeing the ones from to Owen? So I did do a little research, and so some of the things that like the person would kind of manipulate him into saying certain things, or Kendra, and tell him like, hey, I'll do this if you, or I'll give you this clue if you say you hate Lauren. And he would say it, and then she would
screenshot
it and then send it to Lauren. So I think that's when they actually had that breakdown in their relationship, when mm-hmm. they were kind of manipulating different things like that. Mm-hmm. But I just thought it was interesting that they never showed Owen's messages. I'm like, why?
I don't know.
Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Go back and look at it now. I'm like, why just Lauren's messages?
I know it's weird because the fact that she would even participate in the documentary, that's the part that blows my mind. I honestly, and at the end, so Kendra at the end kind of says like, hey, like we've all done illegal things, like even driven drunk. She's saying basically at some level, probably everybody's broken the law, right? Shut up, girl.
But like to compare, I'm not saying drunk driving's not bad.
It is.
It's bad. But it's not a calculated, pointed choice where you're like, I want to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's not sustained over a
long period of time.
So you're making a conscious decision
every day,
every single day for weeks, months,
and that's the thing. You didn't even take a break. You didn't give yourself a little bit of a break. You didn't try to like, I'm not gonna do it this weekend. Like, she was sending messages to Lauren. I actually screenshotted it. I'll have to show you later. But she actually sent a message to Lauren on Christmas mother effing morning. Yeah. And literally just went in on her about how horrible she is. That she's disgusting. She's anorexic. Nobody likes you. I'm like, on Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Christmas Day. So, and then if you go back and look at it and now you think about it in perspective, you're like, that's her mother. Mm-hmm. Her mother.
So she's doing this probably right in front of her.
But one thing I will say there was the shining light for me was her dad. Mm-hmm. I actually really love the way he handled himself and removing Kendra from the house before, like, he was like, call your parents, you've got to go. Like, I might do something, you might do something, and if something happens, she goes away. So he immediately was thinking logically. I do think it was because the police were in the house, mm-hmm. right? but he at least knew himself well enough to know, hey, we need to get her out of this house before y'all leave, right? So I like that he did that, and he immediately filed for divorce and got full custody of Lauren. So this was before, I think, right after she got arrested. So I like that he just took action, and I think even in the documentary, you could tell he was still heartbroken. He cried towards the end about like just his heart was ripped out. Like I think this was his wife. He loved her. She's sick, and I think he had to deal with that. And so I'm just happy that he had enough, forward thinking to know like
to put his daughter first.
And forget this person.
Your wife wasn't putting your daughter first, but he stepped up, put his daughter first, and
because he was getting frustrated. He said in the middle, he's like, he was getting angry at her because he was just like, why aren't you figuring out the situation? Like going to work every day, and he was like, Lauren, like, and my daughter's crying every morning, like she apparently
didn't wanna go to school.
And apparently Kendra wasn't around a lot. So she did admit she wasn't around a lot. So I'm not sure where she was. I'm guessing somewhere sending text.
Exactly.
So whatever. So, so I did want to ask you what your thoughts were on the dad.
Because in the beginning, it just seemed like the dad was a little bit absent. Understandable. He's working, trying to provide for his family.
Especially now that she's not working, because apparently she lied about working, and so they were financially strapped. They moved into like 3 different houses during the course of those 2 years.
They did talk about that they were financially stressed. They were financially stressed. So that puts a lot of pressure on the dad.
Yeah. So what could he have done? How could he have been more present?
That for something when, like I said, it's a small town, and he, like I said, if you're struggling, right now.
But I saw he went to the games, and like he was there.
No, I understand that, but when you're financially struggling, I think you're in survival mode. When you're struggling to pay all your bills, and
I get it. I just don't feel like I saw him as an absentee dad. I mean, they didn't paint him out to be one.
No,
or a bit absent.
In the sense of when they were talking, because even though like I said, I knew Kendra was responsible, I don't think the focus was still on the moms. When they were interviewing the moms in the beginning,
both families, I think, because I actually only saw his dad a few times.
Yeah, so I think I think that's maybe
why you felt all that.
Felt like this. I'm like,
because they talked about the dads very positively.
Not saying that he was a bad dad, or I just felt like maybe because they were interviewing
and
Lauren
then she was
Owen's mom more heavily as far as when they were trying to figure out who it was in the beginning of the documentary. I feel like the focus on, because they would switch between Lauren and Owen and the moms. And I felt like whenever they would talk about, they would go to the school, the police, I felt like it was the moms that was driving it versus the dads.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know if that's me conforming to gender norms, but I would feel like that would be the natural thing to happen, is the moms who are more involved with the school functions and things, I guess. But I did want to add, I had some other questions and some things that I saw that I wanted to ask you. Okay. Did you think Lauren was involved at any point? Oh, no. I never you knew.
Suspected, because I already knew who it was. So.
Okay, because a part of me thought maybe, because I was like, what if those like, maybe she did want attention and then her mom kind of took the fall. A part of me thought that for a second. Like, she was protecting her daughter. She took the fall. This was actually all Lauren. And then I was like, nah,
I wish I could have watched it the way you did.
Yeah.
And been totally shocked.
It was Jillian. Like, it's like and I get why they call it the High School Catfish, only because that's how Catfish, the original documentary, was. It was just completely shocking at the end.
Okay. Talking about Catfish. You suggested that I watched the documentary Catfish. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And I watched it. Bitch.
Because this was before Catfish was a thing.
The term catfish comes from the documentary Catfish.
And it's because they used to catch catfish. The family.
They explained it. That wasn't, I don't think that's how Neve explained it at the end. It was something else.
But it was, it had something to do with them catching catfish. The family did.
He did a story at the end while, as far as Catfish and how they came up with the name Catfish. So when Janice told me I didn't know what to expect. So I'm like, wait, what? So they're setting it up. I'm thinking, oh, he's falling in love with this girl, da, 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 da.
I know. It's
and
crazy.
I was just like, this entire interaction, every single person
was this woman
was fake. She was like playing multiple roles. It's a one-woman show. Girl.
And that's the crazy part. And then they met.
Denise is
and
like,
I think the fact that they met and she's all talking to him and he's no idea that this is the person talking to him. Yeah.
And so
if you haven't watched the original Catfish documentary, it is definitely something I recommend.
Yes.
It is the beginning of Catfish.
Yeah.
Like before that documentary, like I'm sure it happened, but nobody talked about
no one had a term for it.
Lying about who they actually were
online.
And
that documentary is how we get the name Catfish, when somebody fakes who they are online. So, and when she told me, she just said, watch the movie Catfish. I'm not telling you nothing. Girl, I said, Janice, what the actual hell did I watch? Like, there's very few. I think Catfish and Dear Zachary are the two documentaries I was just like floored.
I don't think I was so much floored by Dear Zachary, because I did think that was going to happen at the end.
I didn't.
Especially at the very, very end. I was like, oh my gosh.
I did not see it coming what that woman did.
No?
No.
Especially when she was free. I was like, yeah, she's going to get no. She's crazy.
I didn't see it coming.
Anyways, like, I don't want to ruin Dear Zachary, but it is a good documentary. You guys definitely should watch it. I am on a very much documentary kick. Yeah. So there might be more documentary conversations coming soon.
Oh, yeah. Janice knows me. I do
love a good and I did want to mention in all of this, like as much as like it was a great story, I was still very bothered by those 3 bullies in the middle, which is Nicole and her parents. They were bullies. Bullies. Like I was like, and it's so crazy because it's such a small town. You can tell that these parents are bullies too.
Yeah.
And he's a cop. I was like, he's a bully, and so is she.
Yeah.
I was like, and it was one of those things where I'm like,
and they were probably bullies
you could just tell the mom looked like a bully. It was the way she was just like, and then they basically said that people were jealous of their daughter, and that's why they kept saying it. I was like, your daughter's a known bully, and yet you're wondering why people are questioning if she's the bully? Are you joking?
They're
gonna be like, oh, they all the parents got together and they figured out they were lying. No, your kid is a bully.
Yeah.
Stop it. Point blank, period. You're a bully. Because they were the ones that said they felt like Lauren and the dad were involved. I was like, okay, there's just some bullies. There's some crazy. I didn't like them. That's where she got it from. You know, you learn. Kids learn from their parents. They watch how they operate. Absolutely. And she's definitely a product of her parents.
Yeah.
And it was baffling to see. But we are going to wrap up. But I did want to talk about final thoughts, because I think ultimately the message from this is like crazy, this cyberbullying. Like, it is just so prevalent to the point now that parents are bullying their kids. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, these keyboards that people like to hide behind and bully people, it's crazy. Like, be be a real bully and do it to my face. Okay.
I think people
be a real bully
when there's a sense of being anonymous.
Exactly.
You get
and
emboldened.
I think it's just like, I can handle bullies from when we were growing up. Those are like normal bullies, and like you kind of go through life and you deal with those. This type of bullying is stupid. Like, it's like trolls.
But I also feel like when people see somebody being authentic and out there, putting themselves out there into the world, I think there's a little bit of jealousy for people who feel like, I don't have that confidence to be able to do that and be fully present in the world. And instead of saying, hey, let me work on something internal, let me rip this person down so they can be at my level.
Well, I think that's what bullying is, right? Like, nobody bullies for any other reason they're insecure about themselves. That is the only reason why people bully people. Right. So yeah, for sure. But I will say, speaking of Love Island, I swear I wouldn't talk about it no more. But Nick Calandria, like, I feel like you're spot on. Like, I feel like that is why people continuously attack that situation, because they are two authentic people and they are putting themselves out there and they are being embraced. And I don't think people like that.
Yeah.
And so it's so like, it's just crazy. Like people are just so jealous. Like it's people like do your own internal work, love yourself. So that way you can stop hating on people for real. Like, geez. But yeah, that's the episode, guys. Let us know your thoughts on this documentary. If you got to the end, I would have hoped you would have watched it before you listen to this podcast. But if you haven't, and you did happen to listen to this to the end, and you have not watched the documentary, definitely go and watch it, even if you know who the person is, which Jillian did. But like she said, she would have loved to have watched it with the surprise. So. Mm-hmm.
I felt like I would have enjoyed it even more because when that
girl, I'm telling you, I immediately was like, what?
Yeah.
I paused it. I was like, what?
But I like I said, as soon as I saw the mom, like, oh, and
then you saw what she looked like. You were like, I can see you. You are bullied.
I get it. I see why
you're jealous.
You're jealous.
Yeah, she was not cute. I actually did not, and that's the crazy part. Is like people are what like. You look like how you act, and I'm like, I did not think she was as ugly until after I knew, and then for some reason she just seemed uglier to me. Yeah. I never thought, oh, Kendra's mom's ugly.
Yeah.
Or Lauren's mom's ugly, and then after she did what she did, I was like, oh, she's ugly.
She ugly, yeah. Because I think, like I said, as soon as she popped on the screen, I'm like, not saying that she, maybe not wake up in the morning.
You could see why she would be insecure.
Anything. There's some people who just wake up and they don't have to work at it. They're just genetically gifted, and literally they, open their eyes and boom, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Some people, I gotta have my routine, put myself together
I'm
and
like,
all that stuff.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Some people, it's not effortless, but I feel like I think everyone has a level of beauty in them as well.
Of course.
So it's just one of those things where if you put in
beauty
effort,
is in the eye of the beholder.
And I think if you put the effort into yourself and love yourself, I think it radiates back out.
Well, I definitely think one thing 100% of the time is true. Like being confident in yourself is attractive. It's attractive.
Like
and it makes you more attractive 100% of the time.
And let's be honest, I've known plenty of times where I've met guys and like I may not have been initially attracted to them, but once you get to know them and their personality, I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm wrong.
I swear that's probably happened to me one time.
Oh, really?
Ever. I don't know. It's not that I don't find them attractive in the sense that I don't think they're an attractive person. I'm not attracted to them. I can see somebody's attractiveness and not be attracted to them. Let's just say that. Correct. I can be like, they actually are a handsome man.
Yeah.
But I'm not attracted to them.
Yeah.
And it's just because I don't see them that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, we've got to get out of here. I know we've taken up a lot of your time, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will be back with another episode soon, and we're going to get out of here. Have a good weekend since it's Friday. Bye.